Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Pretenders or Contenders Coaches Show with me, your host, Coach Devon Powell, head varsity football coach at Law High School, also assistant varsity basketball coach at Law High School. Glad that you all have joined me for my second episode. Happy to be here. Again, shout out and thank you to the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network for inviting me in. Boss BJ, Big Dog KG, Don, the Gentleman Jack, Matty Ice, and my guy Midnight Rider. So we're coming to you today. We got a nice show for you today. We got two special guests coming in today. We got my guy Jermaine JT Taylor, reigning Prince George's County 4A Basketball Player of the Year, uh, state champion, Maryland 4A state champion, and one of just an overall good student athlete that we're gonna showcase tonight. And then later on, we bringing on my other guy, Coach Steve Rapp, head coach of Wise, Dr. Henry Wise High School varsity football. And he's going to give us some insight into his program and what to expect from them this coming year. You know, we got a lot of good things happening in PG County across all sports, all athletics. We got some great student athletes that we're going to continue to showcase on this show. We got some great coaches that are doing great things that we're going to continue to showcase. And that's what we're doing with this show, man. We're just going to bring it to you live each week. I got a great lineup of guests coming on for the next month, and so we're just going to bring you PG County and Maryland High School sports from a different view, a different avenue. So everybody just sit back, enjoy the ride. You know, put in some comments if you got any comments, anything you want to question or talk about. I'm here for the next hour. All right, this portion of the show we call the 5 Minute Blitz, where we just have a little conversation and recap the week in high school sports and national sports on any level. Um, you know, it was a busy week in sports. We had the NBA draft the other night, and you know, I must say I'm a proud Duke fan, so it was nice to see my whole starting five drafted during the draft. I don't think I've seen anybody from Carolina drafted, so you know, I'm gonna make sure I mention that. Um, we also had a big weekend in the DMV with our live basketball period, um, a live open period where all the college coaches could come out. You know, we had a great event down at the Math of the DMV Live Session 2, and we also had Maryland Live that was going on at the University of Maryland. So I'm gonna get some updates for you guys that just ended yesterday. So I'm gonna get some updates from that session for you guys next week and highlight some of the summer league action that's been going on in basketball in the DMV. Has been a lot of great games, a lot of student athletes, man, that's been rising. Their stock has been rising. They've been putting on some great performances. So I'm gonna have some of that information for you guys next week. We also in PG County, this is our live camp period right now, where you know any sport can hold a optional camp period. I know our football programs in the county have been gearing up, man, and loading up, and we got 7-on-7 action going on as well. So we had to, you know, it's a quiet period for PG County sports and Maryland high school sports, but everybody's gearing up, man. Football season is right around the corner. I can't wait to to lace them up, man. Get those kids in those pads, man, and start click clacking out there on the field. My squad, my Spartans, we've been putting in work. The young fellas, we're a young squad this year, but they out there grinding, man, and you know looking to turn some heads this year. You know, I'm not gonna speak too much on my squad today. Um, and we got some bigger news that's happening. You know, some of the other counties have already started this, but PG County will be rolling out flag football this fall. Um, So great opportunity for our young student athlete, the ladies, man, to get out on the field. and perform. I know at Law they've been asking for the last couple of years, but this year, man, the ladies they get their turn out on the football field, and I'm excited for that. I actually wish it was during the spring season, so I could be more involved with it. But I'm excited for the young ladies to get that opportunity to go out there and showcase some talents. Shout out to the Commanders. The Commanders are backing PG County and that rolling out and introducing it to the county, and I'm excited, man. I know the coaches are gearing up for that. Something new in the county, but we can't wait for it to get rolling. So, what else we got going on in the county? We got oh man, we got all of our basketball teams. Like I said, they just finished the viewing period, the live viewing period. So they'll be finishing up summer leagues the next couple of weeks, and we got that going on. We still got some 7-on-7 ball going on with flag football. I know Coach Steve Rapp. They have an event coming up that I'm sure he'll speak about for some of the JV squads, a 7-on-7 tournament. So when we bring him on, I'm sure he'll mention that, put that plug in. Um, and I just want to thank again the guest from last week, Coach Eric Hines from Law High School basketball, and my guy Damon Powell, coach at Flowers High School. So that's my 5-minute blitz. Just to recap some of the things, like I said, next week, we'll start giving some more updates on some of the summer leagues that are going on. We'll recap the DMV live viewing period that just happened, and we'll continue to showcase some more of the football programs that are going on, and other county sports that are happening right now that are gearing up for. So, again, the show is just to highlight what's going on in PG County athletics and Maryland High School athletics. We're going to bring coaches in to talk about their programs and what's going on, what they got going on, and just bring a different view, man, so that everybody can see that these young athletes, man, out here working, they grinding, and just to showcase their talents, man, especially on the PG County level where, we get overlooked sometime, but we got some special student athletes and we got some coaches that are putting in that work, man. So just continue, y'all just continue to come out here and check me out each week. Um, if you got show ideas or if you got guest ideas, just send me an email at coachdevon@gmail.com, and we'll try to fit them into the schedule, man. Like I said, I got a great list of guests lined up for the next month, and just excited that I've been given this opportunity and this venue, this avenue to bring this information to you. Um, just put in a plug for myself and the PG County Coaches Football Coaches Association. We got media day coming up in August, on August 11th. It is down at the old Run and Shoot and the new Athletic Republic. The Pretenders or Contenders podcast show will be going live from down at that event. We'll highlight all of the teams down there from PG County in 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. We'll bring on some athletes and interview them. And, we're just looking forward to a great time, man, just to showcase and highlight what we got going on in athletics. Um, and, I'm going to bring y'all with me, man. Like I said, I'm going to go live. It's going to be a special show. The event is from 10 to 1. And I'm going to go live down there, man, and just bring y'all with me and let y'all see what we got going on in the county. So moving on, we're gonna go into our next segment, man. And Jermaine JT Taylor's running a little late. So I'm gonna bring in my guy early. I'm gonna bring in Coach Steve Rapp a little bit early.
Yo,
Come on, Coach.
what's up, man?
What's going on? We got Coach Steve Rapp, head varsity football coach at Wise High School. This one of my guys, man. When I grow up and get older, I want to try to be like him.
You gotta stop that, man. You better than me, bro.
Nah, how you feeling, Coach?
Nah, man, I'm alright, man. We alive and breathing, right? All that's important.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. I appreciate you taking some time to join me today. Um, Out your busy schedule, man. I know you probably just left off the field
For
and
sure.
putting in that work, but don't put in too much work, you know. wait till after week 2 to put that work in.
Who we play week 2?
Don't worry about it. If you don't know,
Oh, all
don't even
right,
worry
oh,
about
all right, all right. My bad.
it.
Come on, man. I'm still trying to figure out how we gonna get a week 1 victory, man.
Hey, yeah, I feel you on that one, man. But like I said, appreciate you coming on, man. And if you can just let everybody know, man. Just talk a little bit about your coaching journey, man. I know you've been doing it for a long time, putting in that work, and just speak on that for a little bit.
Yes, sir. Well, it's 100% in PG County, which is super important to me, right? So first off, before I even get into myself, let me thank you for doing this for us, right? For everything that PG County stands for. I think we struggle a little bit with the media because we don't have a true media outlet that covers us anymore, right? Like the Washington Post covers
Hmm.
us, but they also cover Northern Virginia and DC, right? The Baltimore
Right,
Sun doesn't
right.
reach down here. So we struggle a little bit in getting coverage for our student athletes, man. So just anything extra is always appreciated, man. And I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, man, I appreciate it. So my coaching journey, I started off at Northwestern. I was there for 6 years and kind of, did what's kind of unheard of these days, man. I started off as a JV position coach, right? Went from the JV position coach to the JVO coordinator to the JV head coach to ultimately the offensive coordinator. And then that was over a 6 year span. And then been at Wise ever since, came over to Wise as the OC in 2013. And the assistant head coach, and then obviously became the head coach last year, man. So when you talk about a true like grind from the bottom up,
Hmm.
that's kind of how I've done it, and try to fight, kind of just fight and claw, man. Try to learn as much as I could, listen twice as much as I talk, and it's all kind of paid off for me in my journey. And I just think that, hey man, that's what's wrong with the game today. Like people aren't willing to do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody wants to
Right,
come in and just be the coordinator or just be the head coach. Like, I mean, sometimes, man, you got to learn that everything is a stepping stone, right? You can catch knowledge everywhere you go. So that's why I don't do so much talking, man. I'm always listening. So
yeah, man. And yeah, you're right, man. It's a lot of coaches, man. Like I said, you've been in the game a while. I know I
yeah,
started out in the youth ranks, man, 20
yeah,
years ago, over 20 years ago, man, and worked my way on up.
yeah,
Um, and a lot of these coaches, I ain't talking about nobody, but a lot of people don't
yeah,
want to put in the work, man. They want that
yeah,
instant gratification.
yes, sir.
They think they can just get out there and line it up and call plays all day long and score 40, 50 points. But
Mm-hmm.
they don't understand. It's a grind, man. You got to be able to watch
100%.
film. You got to understand kids. You got to deal with the politics around here in this area. And, it's a grind. So I feel you on
For
that
sure.
one, man.
For sure. So, and I think it's just it's practicing what you preach, right? And understanding that, hey man, you can't live for today. You always gotta live for tomorrow, right? And work through the process. And then as the process shows itself, man, you just got to be ready to capture the moment. And
Hmm.
ultimately, that's what I'm saying. That's the deal. Like that's what we're preaching in our program. That your purpose is greater than anybody's opinion, and you can't change that, but you can change yourself, and that's what you're responsible for every day.
Right. Yeah, you're right about that. So recap your season last year. You guys got to the state championship and played against QO. It was a hard fought game. I actually thought you guys were gonna pull it out. But speak on last year's game, team and game.
Look, man, this still bothers me to this day.
Oh, I believe it.
Obviously, I can make every excuse in the book like everybody does, but I'm not going to live like that. I'm just going to say that there were a lot of factors to me in that game that kind of swayed us. Obviously, losing our best player at the end of the first quarter really hurt.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
all state, all state, first team all met, leading rusher in school history. And the funny thing about it is, I actually think it hurt us more defensively losing them than it did offensively, which is kind of crazy. Um, with the fact that he was going to college to be a running back, but it's
Hmm.
like, I just feel like, hey man, he was Superman, if that makes sense. And
Right.
So it kind of forced us to be a little different than we had been all year. And, but that's life, right? And he's good now. He early enrolled in college and he went through the spring there. So he's solid, and man, we'll all be better for it, right?
Right.
So I feel like that's where we are as a program right now. Like right now we got to get over the hump of winning the big one, if that makes sense. Like
Right.
we had the Virginia 5A state champs on the ropes and didn't finish week one, and then obviously in the state championship, we weren't able to seal that deal. So that's kind of where we are now, in the process of competing against ourselves, right, and knowing that, hey man, the outside word never matters. Only thing that matters is mastering yourself and being the best you can be, and we're working to do that every day.
Right. 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 And man, as I was watching that game, like I said, I agree with you. When he went down, Carlos went down, man. I didn't think that it hurt y'all on offense as much as it did defense. But again, like I said, y'all still was fighting, man. Y'all was battling, and I
Yep.
thought y'all was gonna pull it out, man. I was,
Hey, well,
and-
what's crazy about that is, hey, we get them down there. We get it to fourth and goal, and they're right outside. They're right at the like 17 or something, or fourth and whatever, right at the 17. And I called a timeout, and I told them, "Hey, look, guys, we're gonna block this field goal, and we're gonna pick it up. We're gonna score, and then we're gonna go for two." Like I saw it in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like I
mhm,
saw it happening. Hey, man, I believed, and then we didn't get the field goal blocked, and then obviously they hit the field goal. We go down, score again, end up losing. I think we lost by 10. I think it was 24-14 or 23-13 or something, somewhere in
mm,
that deal. And it just, I mean, it was on us, man. Like, we really didn't have any explosive plays. It wasn't our night, man. Sometimes, and I think sometimes that happens, right? And that's life. Like,
right,
it's no
right,
different than you waking up tomorrow morning saying, I really don't want to go to work, man, but you got to get up and go. Or I really don't
yeah,
want to go to this class. Got to go take the test. Like, it's just part of life, man. You got to take those things in stride, right? And just try to make them learning lessons, man. And hopefully we'll all be better for it. I mean, the good thing is, man, like kind of speaking forward to where we are. We did a super 7-on-7 tour this year, man. We went to Penn State, West Virginia, Temple, Norfolk State, Virginia Tech. We won Penn State. We won West Virginia. We lost in the final 8 at Virginia Tech to the team that won it. We lost in Temple in the final 4 to the team that won it. Like, so ultimately, right, we're still competing at a high level. And it's just, hey man, we gotta figure out how to finish. Like that's really what it comes down to.
right. And I see y'all. Yeah, y'all. You're right. Y'all been putting in that work in the off season, man. And you don't get better unless you're grinding out here, man. And
Oh, for sure.
a lot
For
of
sure.
these
Well, I
student
mean,
athletes these days think you can show up on August 13th and be ready to plug and play. It don't work like that, man.
oh no,
And
sir.
they
Oh man,
they get a
champions.
rude awakening when they
Oh yeah.
they show up on the 13th.
Come on, man. Champions are made in the off season. And with all of this new recruiting stuff and the transfer portal and NIL and all of this extra stuff that these guys got to deal with now, like me as a coach, my original deal for getting in this is helping young men, is helping boys become young men, right? And
Hmm.
giving them an opportunity to go to college. So the only way
Hmm.
we can do that is to get on college campuses, right? Perform for college coaches. So I mean, that's us. Like, hey man, if it's got to do with college, we're gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Anything else is kind of secondary, and then we'll figure it all out on the back end from there. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. And before we move on to the team, let's talk about the NIL thing, and let's talk about the transfer portal, man, because
okay.
I don't think a lot of these student athletes understand how much that's hurting high school athletics right now,
Oh
recruiting.
man, it's killing it,
And
bro. It's killing it.
and it's killing it. And
Yup.
we just experienced it with our basketball team, that just won the state championship, and some of those guys could have got better opportunities elsewhere. But the roster spots are just not available.
Right.
And with football now, they just cut down the roster limit to 105.
Yep.
And that's hurting. And then you got thousands of kids in the transfer portal, man. So, speak on, how you feel about that.
Well, it's a couple different things, man. I think that you have to educate yourself if you want to be in this game, right, you got to educate yourself about the rules of the game. So
Mhm.
prior to this year, right, the chances of getting a Division 1 football scholarship was 2.7%. Okay,
Mhm.
Division 3 was like 3.1. So now we talking like when you talk about make that real, 97% of the players that play high school football are not going to get a scholarship. So
Yep.
I think you got to arm yourself with that. Now, those numbers drop even more now because you got to make it realistic and say, all right, if I'm a coach, do I take the 24-year-old transfer from so and so, or do I take this 17, 18-year-old kid out of high school? And that's literally the question that's getting asked on every staff today. So where
Mhm.
this isn't hurting the top 100, the top 150 players in the country. It's not hurting them. They're
Of
okay,
course. Of
right?
course.
This is hurting the one AA kids, the MAC level kids, the bubble type kids, the dudes that fit the dimensions but might not have the film, or project type kids. And then when you start talking about the big schools, the P4s, the Big Ten schools, and the SEC schools, where they might have took a dude that was 6'5", 190, knowing that, hey man, in 2 years he'll be prepared, ready to play, and I got to steal. But now these dudes are going that, like, because so much money's involved, they're year to year, so they can't take developmental prospects anymore. So if
Right.
you're not fit and ready to go, I'm just going with the dude out of transfer portal that I already watched do it. So it becomes that FCS football and G5 football is now a feeder system for the P4 system. Like almost like when you would think about it as baseball, like AAA, AA, single A. And then they're
Mhm.
coming to your high
Mhm.
schools, right? They're coming to your high schools to get the dudes that are like, all right, we missed on this dude, we missed on that dude, we missed on him, so let's get him. But there is still a place, everybody listen to me, for the high academic kids, because the high academic kids aren't going in the portal. So therefore, hey man, you can set yourself aside with that Ivy League, with that Patriot League. Like if you're over 3.5. But see, those are the doors that, hey, we got to keep preaching to our guys. And these are
Mhm.
all guys. Like you can get to you can get to those doors with those grades. But if you don't have those grades, that door never even opens for you.
Yep.
And those
Loses a
and
lot
those
of
programs,
opportunities.
yep, and those programs are going straight high school because
Mhm.
academically they can't get the kids out of the portal in through acceptance. So that's why we got to keep that. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm at my daughter's flag football practice, so
Yeah, no
I
problem. No
just saw
problem.
her for the first time. So yeah, so that's a whole different avenue that kind of goes around that has not been touched by transfer portal or NIL. So
Mhm.
if you're academically inclined, you got a shot at Georgetown, at Duquesne, at Bucknell, at the Princeton and Ivy and Yale and Colgate and all of these spots. They'll recruit you if you're academically eligible. So I think that in a lot of respects now it's turning into show and prove. Like, hey man, okay, I like you. Go to this school for a year, and then I'll call your high school coach and say, hey, tell him go in the portal, and we out of here.
Right.
Like,
Right.
so I just think it's a lot of education, man. That you got to go seek out the info and try to figure out what fits you. Like what fits you personally. And I've seen it on both sides. Like I've seen it with guys that are in high school that got lawyers and 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 people that you talk to, an NIL agent and all of that. I don't think that's really what you need. I just think that hey, but you gotta have as a coach, you gotta be super knowledgeable. You gotta keep seeking out information, right? And you gotta know what's real to be able to give that information to your athletes.
Right. Um, it's crazy, man. And like you said, man, you got to educate yourself. Because I mean, even as coaches, like 3 years ago, the rules, the game was different.
Yes,
And
no
if you
question.
and if you
No,
don't keep up on your studies of what's going on in the world around us, man, you're doing a disservice to your kids, first of all,
for sure.
and you're hurting your program, man. So I appreciate you spending some time talking about that because a lot of student athletes just don't understand, and to be honest, a lot of coaches don't understand.
No.
Yep.
Yep.
So
It's just like that JUCO deal, man, where people are trying to convince you that if you go to JUCO you get 2 free years, man. That's not a true. That is
and
not
that's
true.
not true. That was a rumor.
There was an injunction for 1 year in one class. Like,
Hmm.
so, and that's what I'm saying is, man, you hear some things sometimes and you don't research it. And then that puts you in a situation of, oh, this is what I thought I was getting. And that's not what you're getting. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just a education, man. And it's got to be like, it's, you got to ask. I guess that's the real thing. You got to ask, man. As the college coaches are coming through, or you
Hmm.
can call the school and talk to the director of football ops or whoever, however you want to do it, just to make sure that you're up on game. The NCAA website does pretty good sometimes, but all of these things that we're talking about can all be found on Google, without a doubt.
Exactly. Again, just like the kids are supposed to, you got to put in the work as a coach, man. And,
Yeah, it
and the
is.
parents got to put in work too, man.
Yep.
You know, they got to understand the law of the land, and you not depend so heavily on somebody else trying to feed them information, because there's a lot of people out here giving wrong information, just like you said
Oh,
with the JUCO rule, and it's putting these kids at a disadvantage.
yep, for sure. I mean, it's tough, man. It's just kind of trying to find every way to help the young men, man. Is the you know is kind of my deal. I'll tell you one of the biggest things that changed for me moving from offensive coordinator to head coach was I feel like I don't get to coach football as much anymore, man. Like,
You
yo,
can say that again.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
You can
yo, it's
say that again.
always, you see what I'm saying? It's admin stuff, it's paperwork, it's meetings with parents, it's coaching coaches, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's, oh man, I just, look, man, I like scheming it up and calling it, man. Like, like,
Hey man,
that's
look, we both was in the same boat last year. You know, coming in
see,
as our first year, taking
yup,
over the program, man. And
hmm
I told my coaches after the season, man, look, I apologize because I spent so much time on the off the field stuff that it took away from the on field stuff.
see, there you go. There you go. I
Right,
tell you, bro, I'm praying to get to Friday night every week. Let me tell you.
right.
Hey,
Just to exhale.
there it is, man.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of Friday nights, man, what's going on, man? Tell us what's going on with the squad this upcoming year, man, and some of your key players coming back. And what you expect from them this year.
That's interesting. So, um, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Gotcha.
Where last year it was interesting because we brought back our whole defense, right? And
Mhm.
we were piecing things together on offense, but had some very special pieces to piece around,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. So we brought in a whole new O line last year, and it was different. So now we're like exactly flipped. Okay, it's like we graduated the whole box, but we bring the back end back
Mhm.
defensively, right? And then offensively, we get our whole O line back except for one, right? But I mean, he rotated a lot. Our left tackle, who's signed at West Virginia as a D lineman. He's the only one that graduated off the O line, and then obviously we return our quarterback, right? Which is, as
Mhm.
anybody knows, man. Anytime you return the trigger, man, that always gives you a fighting shot, right? But then
Yeah, it's half the
everybody,
battle.
there you go. But then everybody on the perimeter, right? Like we bring back our running back Cameron Parker, last year, who was a rotational player, but I call him a 1B because I believe he would have started anywhere else.
Mhm.
But hey man, we just had the Carlos. So now we got a bunch of young guys, freshmen, rising sophomores, freshmen that were on varsity last year, rising sophomores who've had great 7-on-7, seasons or whatever, I guess you would call that. And I think they're purged for a couple breakouts, and we've had some guys get offered and things of that nature where um, we're trying to get the situation together, but it's going to be a lot of new faces. But I love them because they're homegrown, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like we're going to be able to see the fruits of our labor from last year with the backups this year, if that makes sense.
Right, right, right.
So I don't know. That's a good one to ask you. Like, hey, man, it's gonna be interesting. You know what I mean? Like, I know, like I said, I know we get our own line back, and I know we get our quarterback back, and hey, we just got to try to figure it out from there. We start the year off down in Suffolk, Virginia, against King Fork High School, who lost to Maury in the Final Four last year. So another 10-win team. They were actually won 11 games last year. They returned like their
Mhm.
whole team, got a bunch of D1 commits. So it's gonna be like hey, we're gonna get a chin, like we're gonna be able to find out who we are week one, if that makes sense. Um,
Gotcha.
so it's kind of, it's just, but once again, I wanna see that. I wanna know who we are. I wanna know what it looks like when it's against the when your back's against the wall. I wanna know, like, hey man, are you gonna compete? Like, these are things I wanna know going into it, so I can fix or try to help. Dot the i's and cross the t's, so to speak.
Right. And last year, man, and I can tell you, firsthand, that damn D line was a problem.
Hey, look, bro, we
And,
couldn't block
and,
him
and those,
we
those
couldn't
guys,
block him. Look, we couldn't block him in practice, so I can tell you.
well, it ain't too many people that could block them, man. So I understand. Trust
Yeah.
me, and I know my quarterback last year understood too. Um, but yeah, man, it's I think this year, when you think PG County ball, man, I think we got some good groups coming back this year. You
Okay.
guys every year always near the top or at the top. Um, Flowers, who was young last year, man, and they bring back a lot of their players. They'll be a year older, so again they'll be one of the top teams in PG County. And I know Roosevelt, is going to be loaded this year. And I can always, I know you watch a lot of ball, man. You watch a lot of video, a lot of
Yes, sir.
film. So
Yes, sir.
speak on some of the other teams in the county. And you ain't got to give them too much credit, but I know you know the deal. So
Well, I mean, Suitland's back in the foyer. Um,
yeah,
always,
Suitland.
always an exciting matchup. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, hey man, those dudes play super hard, right? Hard nosed
Hmm.
bunch. So they're back in the foyer. For me, what's exciting? I feel like we got everybody on our schedule this year that
Hmm.
is like up and coming, if that makes sense. Like Potomac's back in the mix, right? Because they're a
Right,
true 3A now.
right.
So, I think you guys at Laurel are doing a good job personnel wise. Now, hey man, the question is, can y'all turn that corner? Right.
Right.
I think
Exactly.
over at Parkdale, right? Hey man, I like what Parkdale's doing. Like last year, boy, you cut the table. Remember, I'm in the all county meeting, like, whoa, time out, son. We gonna make sure we get that linebacker on this all county meeting. Like,
Right.
I think the biggest thing is like some of the north side teams, man, making sure that these guys, got enough people. Like,
Hmm.
Coach Pierre's working his grinding over there, man, trying to make sure that they're top to bottom and trying to get them a JV this year, which I think is huge, right?
Hmm.
I don't know what's going on with Bladensburg yet. I don't think they've hired a coach yet, but
Yeah,
like
they,
that's
they
all.
they did hire. Yeah, they hired a coach.
They did hire a coach. Okay, you know
Yeah,
who
they
it is?
hired a coach. I ain't gonna lie, I forgot his name, but he was
Okay.
uh he was on the staff last year and he works in the building.
Oh, well, that's good. Then.
And he
That's
was
good.
also
So I mean, he can get to
he
the
was the
key.
baseball coach at Blade too. So
Oh, okay, cool. But that's good. Then that's good for them because, hey, man, you gotta have when you're trying to build it right. It gotta be somebody in that building, somebody that knows the
right.
kid, right? Somebody that can get to them, meet them where they're at, and give them an opportunity. So I think
Okay,
that's
Coach Marcus said Coach E. Coach E
Coach
is his
E.
name.
Okay, well there
Yeah.
you go. So, hey man, best of luck. Hey man, Coach E, you need it. If you need anything, man, don't hesitate to reach out, bro. Like I feel like that's our due as coaches, right? To try to help everybody in the county the best we can. Now I ain't gonna help
Hmm.
you beat me though. Like I ain't I ain't gonna tell you that, but we can assist with anything. You know what I'm saying? Like make sure we do that. But I think that is to me, that's the concentration. Like I feel like making our trying to lift up the teams that are on their way up, if that makes sense. Because I think that only makes our league better, right?
Yeah,
And
you're
I
right.
mean, there was a time in our county where, hey man, it was murders row every week, right? It was, oh man, they up, and that's what I mean. I would like to see our league get back to that, whatever that takes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm at. I think we're good from that point of view. Outside of that, man, I really haven't seen anybody around other than what I kind of saw at the PG because we just haven't done anything locally. So we
Right.
played
Right.
against Suitland, we played against Flowers. I got to see, hey man, Douglas looked good. Um, Douglas um and I think those were the, you know what I'm saying, like those were the teams that were over where we were. Then I know you guys hosted as well, so you probably would have got to see like all the North End teams. I didn't get to see any of those.
Yeah, well, we had a mix of teams in our area. We had Oxon Hill over there.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, Bowie was there. Who else was there? Largo was there. So we got to see a couple of
Okay.
different squads over there. And like I said, Roosevelt looked good. They had a quarterback that could throw the ball. Oxon
Okay.
Hill looked good. Jeffrey's always going to have his guys ready to play.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yes, sir.
so it definitely was some talent over there. It was good to see some teams. Like you said about Parkdale. Parkdale, no matter what they got, Parkdale always going to play hard. Um,
Yep.
that's one thing about that coaching staff over there. Their kids are going to play hard, no matter what's going on. So I'm not going to speak on my squad, but this is one of those years, man, where I think it should be better across the board more. Um,
Everything.
and everybody's dealing with trying to keep these kids make sure they got the grades.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
and that's hurting the numbers in some of the schools, but um, I'm definitely looking forward to an exciting year this year, man. And before I let you go, I know I done held you for a while. Speak about your event you got coming up, man. The JV flag, I mean
Oh yeah.
707.
Oh yeah. JV 707. All right, man. We got that coming up. The flyer is posted online, man, for the JV guys. So I feel like once again another thing that we're kind of lacking in our county, where if we can try to develop it from the bottom up, then it might help our numbers, in a sense. So we're just trying to do a JV event, man. Real referees at Wise concessions, like it's gonna be a real deal. We're just taking 12 teams. I think we got like 6 teams signed up already, out of county teams. So if anybody's interested, you can always hit me up. The information is on Twitter, or I mean, you could always get to Coach Powell. He can get to me too. Or however, whatever the easiest way to do that is.
Gotcha. And that event's on what you say, July 19th?
Yes, sir.
All right, July 19th at Wise High School. So any coaches out there looking for an event for your JV, man, because the JV, that's the backbone of your program, man. If
There you go.
you ain't got a solid JV, you're in some trouble. So
There you go.
um man, I appreciate you coming on with me today, man, and continue to do your thing. Like I said, just wait till after week 2 to make sure you on you fine on all cylinders.
There you go. Hey, I
All right,
appreciate you,
man.
bro.
Nah, man, go ahead and enjoy your family, man. 'Cause we
Yes,
got
sir.
lives outside of coaching, man. So go ahead and enjoy that.
There it is. All right, bro.
All
Thank you.
right, all right, man. Thanks a lot. All right, man. That was part of our straight from the huddle segment, man, and Coach Steve Rapp, the head coach at Henry Wise, and good dude, man. It's one of my guys, spitting a lot of knowledge there, man. So hopefully our student athletes was paying attention. Hopefully our parents was paying attention, and other coaches. Um, I know he's been in the game for a while, man, and he's definitely put a lot of kids in college. Um, so he has a lot of information, man. And like I said, he was, they made it to the state championship last year and lost their star player, but still had a chance to win that, man. So I appreciate Coach Steve for coming on. Um, go to the comments real quick. Anthony said outside the major cities in Georgia, what areas in the state you got? Well, we talking Maryland high school football, so um, I don't know if you meant to say Georgia or Maryland, but resending your question, and I'll look at that. Um, so now to continue our straight from the huddle segment, we're gonna bring in my guy to the show, my guy Jermaine JT Taylor. Prince George's County 4A basketball player of the year, Maryland 4A state champion. just finished his senior season, where he went over the 1,000 point mark in his career. And I wanted to bring my guy on here, man, just to talk about his senior season, man, and how great of a year it was, man. What's going on, JT?
What's up with you, coach?
And not a whole lot, man. I appreciate you taking some time, man. And I know you probably just left the gym,
Yes,
getting that
sir.
that that workout in. So what's going on with you? What you up to these days?
Nothing, man. College workout start. Got to start fresh. So I'm out
Start
there working
fresh.
with the new guys, and I'm in there 5 days a week with them, and we strength and conditioning, and we in the gym.
Got you. So let's go back into last season, man. I had Coach Hines on last week on the show. Coach Marcus said Mr. 4A.
What's
Um,
up with you?
so I had Coach Hines on the show last week, man. We just was recapping the season, man, and I said, for me, it was just a surreal moment, man, to, you know, when you play in the county, as I did in high school and, been coaching there for a while, man, the ultimate goal is to win a state championship in any sport,
Yeah,
any
for sure.
uh any event you're doing, man, and to finally win one was a great feeling. So tell me how you felt, first of all, making it to the state championship and how you felt after the game.
Uh, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, preparation week of the state championship, it just like none of it felt like real. Like, I don't know. Like, after we won, I didn't even cry. Like, I was just in disbelief and shock that I completed my goals. I can say that, and like that we did it like my final year. Cause like doing it, like coach, no season. Like I was questioning a lot of things, and coach wasn't always there. So it was just like stuff that like went on like at practice and like like in the locker room. Like it was just like questions. So, but I say the best thing is about the whole thing. Like nobody expected us to do it. So like us doing it, like it just it put a smile on my face and like my team like at the towards the end my team was like a family. Like my freshman year we did not have that. My sophomore year it wasn't like that. In my junior year it was getting close. So like everybody like everybody played the state championship game, which is crazy. Nobody like only like
Right.
your six will play the state championship game. So that just shows how much like levels of trust and like how good the team was as a team. Everybody played, so it's just like as a family, I just feel like it was unbeatable.
Yeah, man, it was one of those things, man. Coming off of that heartbreaking loss the year before to Whitman, and as I've said to several people, I feel if we would have got past that game against Whitman, I think we would be talking about being back-to-back state champions right now. Um, as I think we had the pieces to do it last year too. Um, so to come up against Whitman in the state championship this year and to have such a dominant performance against them was oh man, it was great. It was a great feeling, man. And
Yeah.
as coaches, I can tell you, like we didn't even have to coach hard that game. Like
Uh,
y'all took that in your
uh,
own hand, man, and just was like, we're not losing this game.
nah. That like seeing them in that bigger atmosphere, it was just like nah, like we're not going out like we did last season. It wasn't. All the coaches had to do was call a timeout for a break. Y'all ain't had to do nothing. Just sit there and watch the show.
Right. And we didn't even call that many timeouts. Like
Yeah,
we
yeah,
we we was letting y'all ball, man. And
yeah.
talk about the game, man. How'd you feel during the game?
During the game, like I don't know, like during the game they started up what it was 7-0. I wasn't even phased. I wasn't even
Right.
phased. And then, they started talking and then it's just like the game was over from there. Don't talk. Once they start talking, the game over. Yeah. Number
Y-
30 came down, said something, and the the flip switch and it was over from there.
Yeah, when that switch flipped to that stretch, I say it was about a 12-minute stretch of actual play time where I think we took their heart.
Yeah,
And Whitman's a talented team. I mean, they made it to the state championship 2 years in a row.
yeah,
Not to take anything from them.
yeah,
But I think that night, I think it just felt like it was destined for us to win.
for sure.
Because like I said, when that switch flipped on, I mean, you could just
Yeah,
see that their
yeah,
spirits taken. The crowd got out of the game,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
mean, it was just
And I
amazing
didn't
to
even
be a
play
part
that
of.
good. Yeah, and I
Well,
didn't
I
even
ain't gonna
play
say
that
you
good.
ain't you ain't you ain't play
It's
that good. I ain't gonna say you ain't play that good, but you ain't had one of your JT games.
nah,
But it
it
was a
wasn't my game.
collective.
It was a Amadou game and the team game. It wasn't my game. I won. That's what that mattered. It was a great team game.
Yeah, it was a great team game. Amadou did have a great game. But just talk about Amadou, man, and you and him, y'all been playing together for years, and y'all close friends, man. Just talk about how it was to play with him throughout the season.
Yeah, Amadou. I don't. Amadou's like I'm like blood can't make me and Amadou closer. Like Amadou's like really my brother, and like seeing Amadou from like where he came to where he is now it's really a blessing to see because Amadou was that guy with goggles and all that. Now Amadou's a whole different person. Like Amadou can really hoop, and like me and Amadou was just like always on each other. If he in the gym, I'm in the gym. You saw him, you saw me. Like it was always one of those things. So it was just like no blood couldn't make me and Amadou closer, and basketball definitely brought us together. And Cause like even during the summer, we was traveling together. He was basically living with me during the summer during AAU. He was getting on flights together. He was with me and my mom. So it was just like yeah, Amadou's like a brother, and Amadou Amadou's a great basketball player, and like what he like where he's going to play basketball now, I'm proud of him for sure. And I really hope his opportunity is seen over there, because he's a hooper, and I really want him to grow. I really want him to grow as a person and as an athlete himself, because he deserves it. Very hard worker, smart kid too.
Right. I think both of y'all in that same boat, man, because both of y'all hard workers. I done seen y'all grow up,
For
man.
sure.
I done known you since, you and Jalen was in elementary school together. Um,
For sure.
and I still tell everybody about your freshman year playing JV football. How I almost got you killed in the game. Um, but man, I'm super proud of you, man, and you know, the best is yet to come for you. Trust me. You
Appreciate
gonna
it, coach.
they gonna they gonna look back and be like, JT was one of the best to ever come out of law, and we done had some great players come out of law high school over the years, man. And you know, I seen you put in the work, ever since your freshman year playing basketball, man, and how dedicated you've been to the game. So, I'm proud of you, man, and I look forward to the next 4 years of your journey. Trust me, I'm gonna be following you,
Of course.
and you and Amadou still gonna get my late night text.
Of course. It wouldn't be Coach P
Yeah,
without it.
yeah. Y'all my guys, man. So I appreciate you taking some time coming on with me.
Of
Um,
course.
you kind of like me. You're not shy, but you're shy. So I
Yeah.
know this was a little out your realm, but I appreciate you taking the time, man. And anything you want to say before I let you go?
uh yeah, tune into Coach P's podcast, man. I didn't even know he was doing this, but this is very interesting, and it feels like this is him. So keep tuning into these jumps because I'm gonna start watching them too. And I appreciate you for having me for sure. And if you want me to come on again, I'll come on again. It's nothing.
There you go, man. I appreciate the plug, man. And I'm trying to put us on, man. That's what I'm trying to do, man. So each week is gonna get better and better.
Yeah, keep doing it. Hey, I love it.
Uh,
This is for you. Keep doing it.
All right, my guy, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. Be safe out there. I'll be
All
in
right,
touch
Coach. You
with you.
too.
All right, man. Have a good
Alrighty.
evening.
All right, you too.
All right, again, that was my guy, Jermaine JT Taylor, PG County 4A Player of the Year. 1,000-point scorer at law, Maryland 4A state champion. Had a great senior year this year, man, and I'm proud of the guy. Like I said, I've been knowing him since he was a young kid. Proud of the work he put in on the court and in the classroom, and looking forward to these next 4 years for him, man. I know he got big things coming for him, man, and I got to get my guy Amadou Kalogo on the show as well, man. Amadou and JT was our backcourt, starting backcourt from the state championship team, and um, Amadou, another great student, great kid, man, put in the work and continues to put in the work. So those are the type of kids and players we want to showcase, man, on this podcast, man. We want to showcase the kids that's doing it right. Um, Showcase the student athletes that's doing it right, man, and showcase our coaches out there. So I appreciate JT coming on. Um, I also appreciate Coach Steve Rapp for coming on and spending some time with me, man. And again, like I said, this is what the Pretenders or Contenders podcast is about. Each week, man, we're gonna bring on some guests, man. We're gonna talk sports, especially once the fall season gets rolling, man. And again, we're gonna cover all sports. It ain't just about football and basketball, man. We're gonna cover cheer, we're gonna cover track, cross country, golf, soccer, uh, wrestling. I gotta give love to my wrestlers, man. Baseball, softball, volleyball. We're gonna cover it all, man. Especially I can't wait to get our flag football coverage going during the year, man. And just excited for it, man. And again, I appreciate y'all hanging in with me today. Um, I ain't gonna lie, man. I've been moving the last 2 days. So I'm a little tired, but I had to come on and and talk with my people. Appreciate y'all listening in. And like I said, if y'all got any ideas for shows, any guests, coaches, anybody want to come on, send me an email at coachdevon@gmail.com. Um, and we'll work it out, man. Next week, uh July 7th, man. I got a special show coming on July 7th, man, because I got my guy, y'all may know him on Instagram. He runs the Miller's vlog page. That's my guy, Kirsten Miller, man. He shows up and shows out and puts high school sports on the map for the state of Maryland. And like I said, he covers everything, man. He's at volleyball games, he has softball games, he's at girls lacrosse games, he's at football games, he at basketball games. He shows a lot of love to high school sports, and he's a great avenue for information, man. A great venue for a platform for our student athletes to showcase what they got, man. So I got him on the show next week as one of my special guests, man. And I'm working on one more surprise guest. Just waiting for confirmation for him. So I appreciate, man, y'all spending time with me today. Um, it's been a great show, great conversation. Again, I appreciate my guests for coming on today. Appreciate y'all for rolling with me, man. And I look forward to next week. And shout out to the guy, the head man, the boss BJ, man, and the sidelines, Junkies Podcast Network, all my guys, Midnight Rider, KG, Matty Ice, Don, the gentleman Jack, man. I appreciate you guys, man, for helping me out, man, and making sure that this show is a success. And each week we're gonna keep on getting better and better, man. So again, shout out to everybody. Appreciate it. Um, and I look forward to seeing y'all next week. Peace.